I want an open relationship. You can't satisfy all my needs, she declared after reading some article about modern love. So I opened it by immediately dating her younger sister, who'd always flirted with me. Now she's broke, alone, and begging, but I'm engaged and couldn't care less. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. Throwaway account for obvious reasons. Family drama can get messy, and I don't want this blowing up in my face more than it already has. This all went down about a year ago, but it still feels fresh when I think about it. I'm 28, a structural engineer at a mid-sized firm in the city, the kind of job that's steady and pays the bills without too much flash. I've always been the reliable type. Show up on time, plan ahead, make sure everyone's taken care of. That's how I approached my relationship with Emily, my girlfriend of 3 years. We met in college, back when she was studying graphic design and I was grinding through engineering classes. She was vibrant, creative, always pulling me into spontaneous weekend trips or late-night art shows. I loved that about her. It balanced out my more grounded side. From the start, I was all in. When Emily graduated and struggled to find work in her field, I covered our rent for months while she freelanced sporadically. I even turned down a promotion that would have required relocating because she wasn't ready to move. We'll build our life here, I told her, and I meant it. I cooked dinners after long days at the office, listened to her vent about rejection emails, and hyped up her portfolio whenever she doubted herself. Little things, like surprising her with coffee from her favorite spot or planning date nights around her schedule. But over time, I started noticing shifts. She'd spend hours scrolling social media, liking posts about self-empowerment, and breaking free from norms. She'd make offhand comments like, "Monogamy feels so restrictive sometimes, don't you think?" I'd brush it off, figuring it was just trendy talk. But it built up, subtle comparisons, like mentioning how her friend's boyfriend was so adventurous or posting memes about needing more excitement in life. It stung, but I didn't push. I thought loyalty meant weathering the rough patches. Looking back, there were red flags I ignored. Like the time she came home late from a networking event smelling like someone else's cologne, brushing it off as just hugging a collaborator. Or when she'd text me curt responses while out with friends, only to post stories laughing with guys I didn't know. Emotionally, it felt like she was pulling away, treating me more like a roommate than a partner. I'd sacrificed a lot, skipped guys' trips, put my hobbies on hold, to make us work, but she seemed increasingly dissatisfied. One night, after she'd been distant for weeks, I tried talking about it. "Emily, what's going on? We used to be so connected." She just sighed and said, "Alex, you're great, but life isn't a straight line. I need to explore." It hit like a gut punch, but I held it together, telling myself it was a phase. Things escalated when she got obsessed with this online article. It was one of those viral pieces on a lifestyle blog, something about modern love and how polyamory or open relationships were the future for evolved couples. She'd read it aloud to me one evening while we were on the couch, her eyes lighting up like she'd discovered fire. "See, this is what I've been feeling. People aren't meant to be with just one person forever. It's limiting." I nodded, trying to understand, but inside, it felt like she was rewriting our rules without asking. That article became her gospel. She'd share snippets on her stories, tagging friends with captions like, "Time to level up our relationships. Flexed biceps, red heart." Meanwhile, I was left wondering if I was the problem, if my stability was somehow boring her. It was infuriating, but undeserved. I'd given everything, only to be made to feel like a backup plan. The betrayal hit full force one Friday night. We'd planned a quiet dinner at home. I'd picked up ingredients for her favorite pasta, hoping to reconnect. She came in from work, tossed her bag on the counter, and without even sitting down, said, "Alex, we need to talk." Her tone was casual, like she was discussing weekend plans, but her eyes had this smug glint, like she'd rehearsed it. I set the table anyway, trying to keep things normal. "Sure, what's up?" She pulled out her phone, scrolling to that damn article again. "Remember this? About modern love and not limiting ourselves? I've been thinking a lot, and I want an open relationship. You can't satisfy all my needs, Alex. No one person can. It's not fair to either of us to pretend otherwise." I froze, fork midway to my mouth. The words landed like a slap, cruel, entitled, wrapped in this pseudo-enlightened logic. "What do you mean, I can't satisfy you?" I asked, keeping my voice steady, though my mind was reeling. She leaned back, crossing her arms with that dismissive smile. Don't take it personally. You're reliable, sure, but I need variety. Emotional, physical, whatever. This article says monogamy is outdated, a societal construct. I've already talked to some friends about it. They're doing it and say it's liberating. Like, I could date someone more spontaneous, someone who gets my creative side in ways you don't. You could too, if you wanted. But honestly, I don't think you're the type. Her words twisted the knife. She made it sound logical, but it was pure manipulation, excusing her restlessness by blaming society, while smugly implying I was too boring to keep up. So, you've been thinking about this for a while? Planning to see other people? Planning? It's not like that, she scoffed, rolling her eyes. But yeah, there's this guy from work, Jake. He's got that energy I've been missing, adventurous, no strings. We've hung out a bit, platonically, but in an open setup, it could be more. You get it, right? This way, we don't have to break up. We evolve. I sat there, the pasta turning cold, as she justified it all. Evolve? Emily, we've built a life together. I supported you through everything, your job hunts, the late nights. And now, because of some article, I'm not enough? She waved it off, her tone turning condescending. See, that's the problem. You're so traditional. The article talks about this, how people cling to old ideas out of fear. I'm not saying you're bad. You're just not everything. I deserve to explore, and if you loved me, you'd want that for me. We can set rules. No secrets. Communicate everything. But I need this, Alex. Or we might as well end it. It was outrageous, her twisted logic flipping the script, making my loyalty sound like a flaw. She was dismissive, smug, like she'd already decided, and I was just along for the ride. Publicly, she'd even hinted at it online earlier that week, posting a quote from the article with feeling-inspired glowing star #modernlove. Friends had messaged me asking if we were okay, which made the humiliation sting more. I felt discarded, like 3 years meant nothing against a trendy blog post. But I didn't yell or beg. I just nodded, processing the unfairness in silence. Okay, I said finally, my voice calm. If that's what you want. She looked surprised, like she'd expected a fight. Really? You're on board? Yeah, I replied, standing to clear the plates. Inside, confusion swirled. Why me? Why now? But I detached right there. No emotional outburst. Just quiet acceptance of her rules. Little did she know, I'd play by them in a way that would turn everything upside down. That conversation hung in the air like a bad smell for the rest of the evening. Emily seemed relieved, chattering on about boundaries and how this would strengthen us. I didn't argue. Instead, I excused myself to the guest room we turned into a home office, closed the door, and just sat there. The confusion hit hard. Why had I poured so much into this only to be told I wasn't enough because of some clickbait article? I replayed flashbacks of the sacrifices, canceling a solo hiking trip last summer to help her prep for an interview she bombed anyway, or staying up late proofreading her resumes while she scrolled memes. It felt unfair, like I'd been playing by rules she was suddenly changing mid-game. But begging? Confronting her with tears or accusations? That wasn't me. I'd always prided myself on composure, on not letting emotions dictate my moves. So I detached. Quietly, methodically. I spent the weekend journaling my thoughts, not raging, just clarifying what I wanted. By Sunday, I had a plan. If she wanted open, fine. I'd explore too on my terms. Monday morning, I texted Sophia. Emily's younger sister, 24, lived a few blocks away in a shared apartment with roommates. She'd always been around. Family dinners, holidays, and yeah, there'd been subtle flirts. Nothing overt, just lingering smiles when I'd help her fix her laptop, or compliments like, Alex, you're the only guy who actually listens. I'd brushed it off out of loyalty to Emily, but now, with the relationship open, it felt like a door cracking ajar. My message was simple. Hey, Soph, want to grab coffee sometime? Been meaning to catch up. She replied almost immediately. Finally, smiling face with smiling eyes, how about tomorrow after work? Emily noticed my shift, but didn't probe. That night, as we brushed our teeth side by side like nothing had changed, she said, So, about those rules, we should agree no dating friends or family, right? Keep it clean. I rinsed my mouth, met her eyes in the mirror, and said calmly, You set the terms, Emily. Open means open. No secrets, like you said. If something happens, we'll communicate. She frowned, a flicker of unease crossing her face. What do you mean, if something happens? Just being honest. I replied, drying my hands. No elaboration, no drama. I walked away, leaving her to stew. Inside, the vulnerability lingered. Part of me wondered if I was making a mistake, but the unfairness fueled my resolve. I wasn't confronting or disappearing yet. I was simply proceeding. The coffee with Sophia turned into dinner, then a walk in the park. It was easy, natural. She confessed she'd always had a crush, held back because of Emily. But if you two are open now, is this okay? She asked, her voice tentative over gelato. I nodded, keeping it light. She proposed it. I'm just following the rules. We didn't rush, talked about her job in marketing, my engineering projects, shared laughs over family stories. By the end of the week, we'd gone out twice more. I told Emily about the first date that Friday, casually over breakfast. Sophia and I grabbed coffee. It was nice. Her spoon clattered into her cereal bowl. My sister? Are you serious, Alex? That's not what I meant by open. I sipped my coffee, voice even. You said variety, no limits except communication. I'm communicating. If it's a problem, maybe open isn't for us. She sputtered, her smugness cracking. This is twisted. You're doing this to get back at me? Jake and I are just exploring. He's fun, no family ties. But Sophia? That's crossing a line. Twisted, I echoed mildly. Your words were evolved. I'm evolving too. No raised voice, no accusation. I grabbed my keys and left for work, letting the silence do the work. That was my dignity, calm detachment, no emotional outburst. I moved my things to the guest room permanently that weekend, focusing on myself. Hit the gym, reconnected with old friends, even started a side project at work. The confusion faded into clarity. Her betrayal had freed me to see what I'd been missing. Karma didn't take long to swing around, but it built slowly, like a storm gathering. At first, Emily leaned into her modern love face hard. She went out with Jake, a coworker she'd mentioned, some marketing hotshot with a flashy car and Instagram full of adventure pics. She'd come home late, humming, posting vague stories about embracing freedom rainbow #polylife. Our apartment felt like a shared space more than a home. We'd nod politely, exchange small talk, but the intimacy was gone. I didn't pry, didn't show jealousy. Instead, I dated Sophia openly, movies, hikes, even a weekend trip to a nearby lake town. She was genuine, appreciative, everything Emily had stopped being. Our connection deepened quickly. By month 2, we were exclusive in all but name, while Emily's explorations started showing cracks. Jake, it turned out, was a classic user. Emily confided bits at first, bragging about their dates, but soon, the complaints slipped in. He's so spontaneous, but flaky sometimes, she'd say, fishing for sympathy I didn't give. Then the truth unraveled. He was seeing multiple women, not just open, but straight up cheating on his own terms. One night, she came home in tears after catching him with someone else at a bar. He said it's all part of the lifestyle, she sobbed in the kitchen. I listened without interrupting, but offered no comfort. Sounds rough, was all I said, neutral as stone. It got worse. The family caught wind when Sophia and I showed up together at a cousin's birthday dinner. Emily's parents, always a bit over-involved, called a family meeting. Her mom grilled me. Alex, this is inappropriate. You're tearing the sisters apart. But Sophia defended us, pointing out Emily's open relationship push. The rift widened. Emily lost allies as the hypocrisy shone through. Mutual friends drifted. Some messaged me privately, saying her social media rants about toxic exes were off-putting. Professionally, she spiraled. Distracted at work, she botched a big client project, leading to a demotion. Jake ghosted her completely after borrowing money for a trip he never repaid, leaving her broke and humiliated. She started isolating, spending nights alone while I thrived, got a raise at work, bought a new car, planned a future with Sophia. The middle months breathed with that unfairness. I'd sit on the balcony some evenings, reflecting on the silence she'd left me in, but it turned into strength. Her downfall felt earned, ironic. She'd chased variety, only to end up discarded, just like she'd discarded me. By month 4, Emily's attempts to crawl back started. It began subtle, a text while I was out with Sophia. Hey, can we talk? I miss us, the real us, before all this. I replied hours later. What's up? No warmth, just facts. She called that night, voice shaky. Alex, this open thing was a mistake. Jake's gone, and I see now how good we had it. Let's close it, go back to monogamy. Please. I was at Sophia's place, her head on my shoulder. Emily, you wanted this. I'm happy where I am. But with my sister? That's not fair, she pressed, desperation creeping in. Mom and Dad are furious. They say you're manipulating the family. Come home, we can fix this. Her mom's call came next, toxic as expected. Alex, think about what you're doing. Emily's hurting because of you. Be a man and end this nonsense with Sophia. I kept it brief. This is between us. Respect my choices. No apology, no sympathy. Emily's tries escalated, showing up at my work lobby one afternoon, eyes red. Alex, please. I'm sorry I pushed the open idea. That article was stupid. I was influenced by dumb trends. Jake used me, left me with nothing. I need you back. We stepped outside. I stayed composed. You said I couldn't satisfy you. Turns out, you were right, for you. But I've moved on. She grabbed my arm, voice rising. Moved on? With Sophia? You're just punishing me. How dare you date her? That's betrayal. Her hypocrisy boiled over, anger flashing as I pulled away. Punishing? You declared the rules. I followed them. Friends got involved too. Hers texting me please like, give him another chance. She's unraveling. But they turned unpleasant when I declined. You're cold, man. Hope Sophia dumps you. I blocked them, unfazed. Emily's final desperate push was a barrage of voicemails, progressing from begging, I love you, Alex, let's therapy it out, to rage, you're a coward for hiding behind my sister. Enjoy your fake happiness. It revealed her true colors, entitled, manipulative, lashing out when she couldn't control the narrative. The resolution came at her cousin's wedding 6 months in, a public twist that put it all on display. Sophia and I attended as a couple, dressed sharp, laughing with relatives who'd warmed to us after hearing the full story. Emily showed up alone, disheveled in a rumpled dress, eyes hollow from the months of isolation and fallout. She cornered me during the reception, away from the dance floor, but still visible to whispering guests. Alex, she whispered urgently, this has to stop. Look at me, I'm a mess. Jake ruined me. Work fired me last week. Even Mom's mad at how I handled things. Take me back. I'll change. Sophia can find someone else. I glanced at Sophia across the room, radiant and chatting with aunts. My life had upgraded. Promotion to senior engineer, a new apartment lease with her, plans for travel we'd always talked about. Emily was irrelevant now. A chapter closed, powerless against the peace I'd built. Emily, I said firmly, voice steady and detached. You wanted open because I wasn't enough. I agreed, explored, and found what satisfies me. Sophia and I are happy, engaged actually. We decided that morning. The ring was in my pocket. You're not part of this anymore. It's over. Her face crumpled, but I felt nothing. No sympathy, no lingering care. But I realize now what I lost. Please, don't do this. I've grown from it. I continued, indifferent to her plea. Learned that loyalty means respecting myself first. You're irrelevant to my happiness now. Focus on your own life. I walked away, joining Sophia on the floor for a slow dance. Emily left early, alone, while we celebrated. Mutual friends later said she deleted her social media, moved back with parents, still unraveling. Me? I don't think about her. Life's too good. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.